Episode 170 of the TPC podcast with me and only me, because I don't have any guests today. It's not that anyone canceled, I just don't have any guests today. And I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I really have no idea what I'm doing in life in general, nor on this podcast. But, I don't know. Let's create some content and some entertainment for the people, for the unwashed masses, for Sam Hyde. Podcast available on BitChute, DTube, Vimeo, VO, YouTube, Anchor, Spotify. There'll be a link in the description and in the top comment for all those links, as well as a link to some original artwork I've made over the last 2 or 3 years and uploaded. And all profits go to this podcast. Next step will be probably a bigger computer on a laptop right now. After that, probably be like a 4K webcam. Then I'd like to get I got a really good microphone right now, but I want to get like a ball-in microphone with like a boom and everything. Yeah. And eventually enough that I can get an apartment and not have to work and just kind of work on getting guests all day, every day. So if you want to support the podcast, or if you don't want any of my shitty artwork, you can go to Patreon and donate a shekel per month or whatever the fuck, however Patreon works. I don't know. Haven't gotten any money yet, but who gives a fuck? We're not floating, we're living on a plane that's floating in infinity. No one knows how anything started. No one knows what happens after we die. No one knows why we're here, if there's a purpose to why we're here, or if we're even really here, or if it's not just all a simulation and we're slowly going insane in some fever dream of a god. Who gives a fuck, though? I got an orange jacket, and the air conditioning works. I'm not sick. I got internet. Everything seems to be balling right now. Big dick energy. So, one thing I have been kind of reading up on the last... What the fuck? I've been reading up. No, I've been fucking watching YouTube videos. Fucking not even high, but acting like I'm high as fuck. Just going down the rabbit hole because I love this shit. So no, I haven't been reading up. I've just been drooling with like a half-baked moron with a room temperature IQ. That being said, I'm going to call it reading up. So I was reading up on remote viewing, which is always kind of woo-woo, new age shit, but at the same time, a lot of weird new age shit. Or things that are new age now, or are accepted now, at one point, I think could be argued that were new age woo-woo shit. Something I always think about is like the plague, right? One was germ theory, one was Joseph Lister. He's Victorian medicine. Shout out to that author. That was a dope book. I need to get that author on my podcast. I'm gonna write down their name right now. Yeah, Joseph Lister using all of his phenol spray or benzene spray or whatever the fuck it was. There's a book about him called The Butchering Art. Butchering Art. Let's see. Nope, don't play it. I don't want to get yanked. The Butchering Art. Joseph Lister's quest to transform the grisly world of Victorian medicine by Lindsay Fitzharris. So I'm going to write her name down and try to get her on the podcast. Yeah, it's a fucking awesome book. It's disgusting, but it's awesome. But, yeah, so I mean, think about that. They're talking about these hospitals in foggy London town where, using the same fucking thing to look at each other, like, people's mouths, like, open up wide, say, okay, wipe it off on the jacket, next, and wipe it off on the jacket. I mean, beds that were so dirty. Not only were they just dirty, just, not washing them every day, but had fungus, had actual plant life because they were so fucking gross. Never opened any windows, no circulation, reusing old hospital gowns. You just take them off a dead patient, give them to the next patient. The most disgusting thing was there's this student learning, all these med students learning, and one lady had this big old fucking cyst on her neck, and they were trying to drain it of pus, and they couldn't get it out. So what they do? He puts his mouth on it, sucks it up, and spits it into a my eyes just watered. Oh. But it wasn't even like that was some fucking moron or jester or some fucking dipshit retard from the town square. That was a doctor. That was part of the fucking the technocratic academic elite. And it wasn't just that he was a dipshit doctor like I would have been. He was a doctor, and all the other doctors were like, yes, of course, I concur. So, I burnt my cheek. But, yeah, that was normal. And it's because germ theory didn't exist, right? I hope I'm not getting that wrong. But there was no germ theory. So, I mean, now wind the clocks back 400 years before that. Before that backwards-ass time where sucking pus out of people's necks was normal. Or even fucking applauded by other doctors. I concur. Bully! It's wind the clocks back 400 years before that. And think about like a plague. I mean, no wonder why these people thought this was like a fucking curse upon the lands, or what was it, fucking Moses and the pharaohs, and yeah, no wonder it looks like a fucking plague. No wonder it looks like a witchcraft or some angry, vengeful god, some wrathful deity, because everyone's just dying. You don't have fucking microscopes. You can't see these little fucking armies of cells just raping your body. But everyone gets sick and everyone fucking dies with seemingly no rhyme or reason to it. That's magic. For all intents and purposes, that is magic. Right? I mean, imagine bringing back a phone and FaceTiming across the city, across foggy London town, or FaceTiming from the New World over in America. Like, there's no... Even if there were wires connecting the phones, maybe a smart guy would go, you know what, I think the message is somehow going through the wire. I don't know how it's being recreated into a picture, or even what this picture is. What is a picture? There's no cameras, never mind. But there's not even a wire connecting them. It's via cell service. You can trust them and say there's a satellite. You can't see it. What is the satellite? Oh, well, it goes around the Earth. Or because the Earth is... Oh, Jesus, how far back are we? But it's just Wi-Fi. It's just magic. Right? So I think a lot of shit that we could consider woo-woo, that's not a blanket justification to everything. To every fucking, single mom on Facebook who's selling essential oils and is messaging you to be part of her multi-level marketing campaign. Like, No. Not everything is science. But I think there's a lot that... there's a middle ground. A lot of shit is just bullshit. But you can't write off everything as bullshit and at the same time be bold enough to say that you're intelligent because of all these other things, including an understanding of the history of the world. Because if you did, you would have to acknowledge that at one point we thought the world was flat. We thought that the sun revolved around us. We didn't know what fucking germs were. We could just suck pus out of a neck. Bully! And we now know that. It's like, what the fuck? No. You can't look at all that and then assume that we have it all figured out. I think we have a lot figured out. I think we're smart for people. But isn't something like 94% of the universe dark energy and dark matter? And again, that's a dangerous road to go down because now you're coming at 94% of the universe. It's so everything could be true. If we have only explained 6%, because that comes down to some bullshit. Well, what if we used 100% of our brain, right? That man's name, Albert Einstein. Yeah, all that fucking cringy Reddit shit. No, but there's a lot that exists that we don't know what it is. Dark energy and dark matter. Isn't it like the mass of the galaxy doesn't line up with what? Because like the same reason that we can predict like the existence and locations of planets is because we can see like the nudges in the orbits of other planetary or celestial bodies, and we can kind of infer like where something would have to be of an equal mass, or of a not equal mass, of a determined mass and determined location. I don't think density matters. Yeah, I don't think density matters when you're just getting at as planets versus a star. Well, I guess you wouldn't have to guess the density and location of a star because it'd be a fucking star and it'd be blinding you, right? It wouldn't be some icy body out in the outer solar system. So, but with the galaxy, I thought they've shown that the galaxy isn't, like, the amount of mass, like, it doesn't add up. Like, the size of it and the speed of its rotation, it doesn't add up, right? Isn't it? There's not enough mass or something. Like it shouldn't. Using that same ability to infer, doesn't it? I thought, who am I arguing with? But it's, yeah. So there's a lot we don't know of. And now who knows? Maybe this woo-woo shit, maybe it exists at a quantum level. I mean, quantum level is as woo-woo as you get. What the fuck is superposition? But I don't know. I think there are certain things. I think there are too many instances of people who, and I don't like the like, oh, I haven't thought of this person forever, and then I thought of them and the phone rang and it was them. Like, but how much stuff do you think about every day and there is no phone ring? Like, is that not just like a cherry picking like confirmation bias? But I think there's some odd stuff specifically surrounding near-death experiences and experiences of those of loved ones who are dying, of the people who love the person dying, very close to, child, brother, parent. I think there are a lot of weird experiences right and around there of people from all walks of life. I just got off the phone with a good friend of mine and we were talking about meditation and shit. And like meditation's often, you throw it out to, you know, the long hair fucking Tibetan monk shit. But I mean, as of the first one, episode 50, it's been on multiple times since then. Dale Comstock, American hero, Delta Force veteran, I believe youngest ever Delta Force member. Don't quote me on that. And his good friend Joe Tedai, another American hero, both in a very secret government counterterrorism task force, which can't legally be named by then, and I'm not sure if it can be named by me. But it's the subject of Annie Jacobson's book, Surprise, Kill, Vanish. Also, if you've ever played any of the Black Ops video games, specifically Black Ops 2, you know, when you're in that opening level and you're in the Middle East somewhere, right? Right before the horses come and jump over the down tree. Soviets getting over here right before they see Reznov again. It says on the left side of the screen before it blots everything out. That is the unit. It's a real unit. That's what they're in. Point being, they both espouse meditation and also experiences of, surreal psychedelic experiences of loved ones completely in the dark about the fact that loved one was at that moment dying. Other sides of the world, weird shit. And these are, and I don't mean this in any insulting way, it's just who they, these are your most clean-cut guys, not pot smokers, not woo-woo hippie guys. Your clean-cut, strong jawline American, spec ops guys. Versus someone that you might say more, out there, maybe a Duncan Trussell or a late great Ram Dass, rest in peace, is. But when even these guys have it, it starts to seem like a little bit of a universal experience, right? Let's go back to like a plague, when even the hippie guru gets sick, and so does the astronomer, right? It's the one guy that says the whole world is just energy and vibration, and the other guy that says the world isn't flat. Like, and they're both, I don't know why this 1500s European guy has a 1930s mid-Atlantic radio voice. The world is flat. Next up at 5 p.m. It starts to, the play gets all of them the same. It kind of feels like that. Like meditation could be this like equal thing. These woo-woo experiences. Mystical new age things that a lot are horseshit. Goddamn if there aren't some that just seem a little odd, almost to the point where if you got rid of great book, UFOs, Generals, Government Officials, and something else by Leslie Kean, Kean, was the co-author of that article that came out a couple weeks ago, about a month ago actually, of the government saying that it's August 28th, 2020. The government has recovered crash materials not of this world, as well as all the other Pentagon UFO FLIR, FLIR, forward-looking infrared videos that have come out pertaining to those around Commander David Fravor. Was it David Fravor? Commander Fravor on the Joe Rogan Experience. Talked about by Jeremy Corbell, as well as Bob Lazar and George Knapp. Her book is very good in that it treats this the same way that I'm trying to treat other woo-woo experiences. She's not claiming that these are little green men, or that these are the Greys, or that these are whatever. Nope. She's just saying that there are some objective facts. These are physical objects. They're in the sky. They give radar returns. They affect magnetic instruments. There are multiple corroborating witnesses for these cases. Okay, you don't have to say it's an alien. It's from Proxima Centauri. It's the reptiles from Draco, right? They're just saying this is a physical phenomenon, and to say otherwise is being disingenuous. These exist. They exist as physical objects. To say otherwise just isn't. It's not true. To lie about it is like looking at a mountain and saying that mountain doesn't exist, right? I think there are a lot of experiences that like I had an experience the night before my brother died. Pretty much seeing it, right? With no indication that it was going to happen. It's not like he was dying of cancer and I had a dream that he died finally of cancer. Like, no. It was suicide. April 15th, 2014. There seems to be some experiences that now if you try to label them and say, oh, this is, we were spirit bodies connected by a silver cord of life. Like, okay, well now you're losing all credibility, because now it's just like, this is some new age essential oils. Like, yeah, sell me your energy crystals, right? I think as long as you stand back and just keep it objective and say, I had this experience, but I do not know what it was. And I don't claim to know what it was. I can only tell you what experience I have had. Well, that's fine. And it's fine to say you've had those experiences. And it's also fine to accept them even as a well-educated scientist. And not some lab coat wearing motherfucker. I mean, just you yourself listening, the scientist. You're looking at the objective facts. Can we change a variable? Can we take in all the context clues? Can we point to cause and effect? Or can we just point to chronological series of events? All right. And just accept it as it is. It's a cataloged thing, right? You're just cataloging. You're in a new world. You're cataloging all the different leaves and the bugs and the mammals, and you're just writing down what you saw. I'm not saying that this is the ancestor of a platypus. I'm not saying that this broke off from this evolutionary lineage at this many million years ago. You're just saying, here's an animal I saw. It had a fucking beak and flappy hands, and it just looked kind of gay and retarded. But there it was. There it was. I don't know what it is, but there it was. I think you have to look at it as that. When someone starts coming with an explanation to it, that's different. It's, what if someone reported the plague? Someone came over and they coughed, and like 2 days later, everyone that was at that dinner got sick, and only one of them went to the barn the next day, and he coughed on our neighbor, and then that neighbor got sick. So I think there's something passing. That is correct. I think it's passing through their spitting out dark spirits on each other. No, that's not right. It's a virus or a bug or whatever. Oh, god damn it. I just spilt water everywhere. Well, that's the end of that podcast, because this is about to fucking seep through the and the ice. God damn it. Take care, everybody. Stay safe.